if you're in midlife like I am, I'm Meredith Melberg, you are seeing, as Bruce Springsteen would say, you can see the light of the oncoming train in terms of life is happening, whether you're paying attention and being intentional about it or not. And so I want to tell you a story of something I recently did. I just turned 50 a couple months ago, actually in March, and I decided that I wanted to celebrate it in high style. And I ended up throwing a huge party for myself. It turned out to be 175 people, and I had a Bollywood dance party. And it was something that was an idea that I thought of when I was going through the regular, what do people do when they turn 50, jump out of an airplane, get a tattoo, that kind of thing, and nothing really fit for me. And I do love to dance, and I'm a very analytical person, but when I dance, I really get into my body and kind of out from my head and down into my being. And so it's really illustrative of how I want to live the second half of my life. And so having a dance party seemed like the perfect solution for me. And I hired a Bollywood DJ guy that I know from Portland, actually, and his dance troupe, and they came down, and I invited my friends and family and colleagues and clients, and we had this huge celebration, and I got this beautiful Indian outfit, and we served all kinds of food from different cuisines, and had a big, wonderful cake. And it was such a wonderful moment in my life to just have this party. But what I wanted to tell you is the day before, I really freaked out. I'd been planning it as if, it'd gotten on to the point of it felt like a wedding, really. And as I was planning it, the day before, I kind of hit a wall, and it was like my analytical brain couldn't take me any further. I had thought of everything I could, and all of a sudden it became clear that this was actually going to happen, and I was really afraid to show up at the party and to relax into my being and show everybody that I was a dancer, because I tell myself stories about, I've always wanted to be a dancer, but in high school I didn't make the drill team. It was one of the crushing moments of my budding athletic career. But anyway, I had this party, and it is such a memory for me now. It just makes me feel like I can enter this new decade with a feeling of, okay, I'm living life on my terms. And even though I still go through hard times, and turning 50 is no joke. I mean, there's big stuff that you start to contemplate, and that I have been sitting with ever since the party. But I had people come up to me at the event and afterwards saying that my celebration inspired them to mark their own milestone in their own particular way. So I wanted to encourage you that if you have been feeling like you have a milestone coming up that you'd like to mark, that you really do it on your terms, and think about what would make you so very happy. It doesn't have to be a grand party with that many people, but whether it's something that trip you go on, or some kind of ritual that you practice, or just even going to the beach with your loved ones. It's just doing something that really feels like it honors who you are. It's so easy in this life to just be focused on what we haven't done or what we haven't achieved. And in fact, I was really nervous about the fact that I hadn't met some of the milestones that I wanted for myself. But this party was a moment of joy, and it will be with me for the rest of my life. And like, my wedding and the birth of my children stands out as a high point in my life progression. And it was something that almost didn't happen. It was going to be hard to pull off. It was expensive for me, and I had to take a real risk in myself to show up as my dancer self, which I don't show to much of the world. I'm trying more to, but it doesn't come easily for me. But I just wanted to point that out, that, do what you love, because it really is important, and it becomes a touchstone that you can keep coming back to. Because like now what happens for me is I think, well, the lady who had that party is the one I want to have show up now. I'm nervous about something. It's like, well, I already had the biggest thing I could imagine, so anything else is going to be icing on the cake. So I offer that as encouragement to you. Okay, take care.